How do you think Jim Schwartz can take advantage of the Browns' talent? And I know you've answered this on your podcast as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be allowing these guys just to do what they're naturally good at, instead of trying to have these guys fit into certain boxes. Allow Denzel Ward to follow guys, right? Empower these players. When you have a less talented team, you probably want to empower your players less and give them less responsibility because you don't have the type of players to where you can do that. But what didn't make sense to me was that the Browns have a very expensive defensive roster and a very talented defensive roster. Those are the situations to where you can make your life a lot easier by just empowering some of these players to be more of what they're being paid to do, right? So instead of Denzel Ward worrying about one area, he's now worrying about a lot more, but he's capable of handling a lot more. And when you simplify it like that, it makes it so that there's less room for miscommunication, and it makes it so that, hey, the big-time players can show up and make the big-time plays. We'll see what happens, but I think that's the main thing is like putting these players and empowering these players who are good to be good, right? And not rely on any crutch or any training wheels anymore.
Yeah, and you know, guys have strengths and weaknesses. Play to their strengths. We make it sound like it's, you know, earth-shattering. That's what coaching is. Hey, this guy does this well. Let's have him do this. He doesn't do this.
That's when your job is easy, right? Like, how did Urban Meyer win 3 national championships? It's not because Urban Meyer is an X's and O's genius. It's because he was able to get the best players and be like, I can play man. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like, that's all he had to do. Nobody could stop the guys that he had on the field, right? Kirby Smart. Did we think Kirby Smart was a genius before the last 2 years? No. It's just because he has the biggest guys in the world playing football for him on the defensive line. And he's like, I could just put 5 in the box and live with it, right? When you have the horses, the strategy matters less. When you're out there trying to run the 2017 Browns to 6 wins, this is why we give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit, because he be running dudes out there we've never heard of and getting good defense out of them, right? And that's when you need to get more complicated and try to figure out ways to hide things and shell things. But when you are good, you don't have to disguise much, right? The Kansas City Chiefs, their playbook is not a secret. We know what they're going to run like 90% of the time. It doesn't matter because they have Pat Mahomes, right? Like, you need to be complicated and hide things. It's like basketball. And hiding things and trying to get overcomplicated, that's like trying to be crafty in the post. You only really got to do that when you can't jump over dudes and dunk on them, right? And the Browns have a roster to where they should be able to jump over dudes and dunk on them. But instead, the last 2 years, we've been trying to, you know, do post moves and try to pass the ball 8 times. Just shoot. You know, that's all we need to do on defense. Just shoot.
Yep, I'm with you.